At this point, it is no secret to anybody that the economy is not in the best place. And some people are responding by doing the right thing, but a lot of people are responding by becoming their own worst enemies. So we're going to review this video here about poor financial decisions. So let's see what these people are doing. Haven't seen this half of the video, so let's react to it.
I am financially irresponsible. I am. It's just, I don't have a savings account. I'm 29 years old and I no longer have a savings account. I'm making the most minimum payments on my student loans. I graduated college back in 2018, still paying off those loans. The most minimum payments. I'm living back at home. I don't have my own car. I obviously don't have a home. Instead, you know what I do? I buy tickets on impulse to go to Italy, to go to Europe. I use Afterpay, I use Affirm, I use Klarna. I get my groceries on Instacart for the whole buy now, pay later feature. And I don't care.
Ain't this the chick from the last video? I'm pretty sure in the last reaction I did with people making bad financial decisions, she was there. And she said she was 28. Now she's saying she's 29. So I don't know how much time has passed. In the last video, she said she was never gonna live back at home. I guess she's living back at home now. And you're doing buy now, pay later for your groceries. You're living at home. Why don't you just help your parents with the groceries? Like, what is going on here? And she said she doesn't care. At first, I thought she was gonna come off as remorseful. Like, you know what? I made some poor financial decisions, but I'm doing better. But nah, she's deciding I'm just going to double down on the BS. Screw it. Who gives a damn? And this is the worst kind of example. This is the person to not be buying random tickets to Italy. What do you need to do? What do you need to do in Italy? Huh? What's so nice about Italy? You want some pasta? Go to Philadelphia. Go to New York. They got enough. You got enough Italy out there. You don't need to be going even to those places. You need to be saving your money. 29 years old with no savings account. I'm not going to completely, talk crazy to her about that because a lot of Americans ain't doing too well. But this is a perfect example of the consumer's mindset, impulse spending, just spending to take the pain away instead of doing all the right things. Making the minimum payments when you're actually out here taking trips is absolutely ridiculous and irresponsible.
I really don't. Like, I'm being so for real right now because the way things are looking, living here, making a life, that American dream, I'm gonna have my own house. I'm gonna have my own family here. I'm gonna have so much money. I'm gonna be rich. That's little me she'd be deceased. She would be quaking, shaking in her boots if she saw the state of this right now, because that's so impossible. Like BFFR. Maybe you're not as financially responsible as me, but I think we can all agree this isn't life. This isn't like, I'd rather live paycheck to paycheck, actually like living for my soul and going on these trips and creating memories and experiences and visiting this place that feels like home, that I know I want to make home, that is out of the US. I'd much rather be living paycheck to paycheck doing that than be living paycheck to paycheck trying to just get by, paying off bills, paying off debts, the highest amount I can pay just to pay it off a couple years sooner. Because let's be for real, it doesn't matter if I'm paying off low payments or high payments, it would still take me years to pay off what that student loan debt was. So I'll pay off the most minimum payments so that I can at least have a little extra pocket change to go abroad, to go solo travel, to create these memories for myself and actually try and have somewhat of a will to live. Because this country is depression.
I'll say this, and to her credit, I've mentioned this a lot before. This is where I will blame the United States economy because it's gotten to a point where a lot of people are feeling hopeless. This mindset right here is actually not that rare. A lot of people are saying, you know what? I'm never going to get out of this debt anyway. I'm never going to move forward in life. I'm never going to move up in the world, which is crazy because that's the exact opposite of what this country was built on. That's the exact opposite of what capitalism is supposed to be. You can raise yourself up from your bootstraps. You can become something greater than what you were when you first came into this world. People don't believe that nonsense no more. They just don't. People are like, screw it. I'm never going to pay it back. Why even try? Everybody has this hopeless, defeatist mindset. This, like, you know what? I'm just going to live for right now. And I'm just, whatever happens, happens. And where I do tell people you should be living in the moment, but don't live just for the moment. You should still be trying to get out of this debt so she can achieve the freedom that she actually wants. I could tell she's a person like myself, like a lot of you on this channel, who wants to live a life of freedom, fun, and adventure, but she's just going about it the wrong way. And a lot of it's because she feels hopeless. So she's finding joy and happiness in leaving. She's just escaping her problems instead of being here and dealing with them. And she's 29. So she's not old by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. However, she needs to try her best to get this in order because there's only so long you can keep this up. There's only so long. She said she'd rather live paycheck to paycheck so she can live the life she wants to live. However, it that is that's the type of game that ends real quick. So you're in the end game now. So you need to get out of this debt. You have to get out of it. The problem with student loan debt can't be defaulted on. So you just have to take those on the chin, pause, and you have to just go after it and you have to try your best to pay those down because I you can't play this game for too long. She did say she moved back with her parents. In the last video, she said she wasn't gonna do that. But now she's back home, so she should be saving a good amount of money. You went to college. She never mentions her degree. She never mentions how much the loans are. So we can only infer it's probably a decent amount of money. And let's say she at least got a bachelor's. You have to fight. You have to fight like hell. If you just put your head down and grind for the next 2 to 3 years, you'll only be 32, maybe 33 when you're done with your debt if all you have is a bachelor's. You can get out of this. I promise you, you can. And if you're watching this video, you can get out of your situation too. Because I got out of my situation. And like I said, I wasn't always the best with money. And even right now, I wouldn't say I'm perfect with money, but I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm saving and I'm investing and I'm moving towards a life of freedom. I'm moving to a place where eventually I won't have to worry about money too much. The goal isn't to have a whole bunch of money. The goal is to not worry about money. And that does come with a specific dollar amount depending on the lifestyle you want to live. I know with the lifestyle I want to live, how much money I need to make. You need to figure out how much money you need to make to live the lifestyle you want to live. And then make a little bit more than that and then invest or save that. That way you always have that safety net.
I already struggle with my own shit, okay? Being here struggling with my own shit amplifies it. So I don't care. I'll take me being financially responsible and me actually trying to somewhat live than me being financially responsible and wanting to croak every single day of my life.
No. Oh
Like,
no.
I literally don't care anymore. I'm 29 years old. I have no savings. I'm probably the most financially responsible person that a lot of you will probably come at me for. Come at me. I don't care anymore. I literally don't. Because soon enough, like, I don't even care about living here. Soon enough, I'm going to be over yonder in a place that actually regulates my nervous system.
Here are the two worst financial mistakes I ever made. And this is coming from a normal person. I'm not super financially successful, but I'm also not a disconnected rich person who's going to tell you, well, after I sold my sixth property, then I didn't quite get the return on the seventh property. No, it's nothing like that. For people that are closer to my situation, you're starting to have some money that you're looking to save up or invest or whatever. These are two of the worst mistakes I ever made. Number one, sports gambling. Don't do it.
Ooh.
The only way I can tell you it's okay to sports gamble is if you have a healthy relationship with gambling, and that is that like you can put the occasional small amount of money on a game to just kind of have a good time with your friends or something like that. Gambling.
I want to say that I'm completely against sports gambling. However, I've done it before. However, comma, I have never gambled anything more than like 20 bucks. And once I lost that, I would like delete the app. That's me. Once I lose a good 20, I'm off the app. And it'll probably be a month or so before I like re-download it. Like, you know what, let me get in there a little bit. I might win. I might win like 5, 10 bucks, and I'll gamble that, and then I'll lose the 10 bucks plus what I initially put in. So I'm really only down 20 bucks, and then I'll delete the app again. That is a very healthy relationship with gambling. Cause when I lose, and like I said, I never put in more than 20. But when I lose, oh trust me, I feel that. I'm not one of these people that's like, I gotta get it back. I gotta get my $20 back. Nah, I put up the $20 because I was willing to lose that $20. And I lost it. And yeah, last year when it came to sports gambling as a whole, uh, maybe I'm in the positive, but if I look at all the money I've lost, it can't be any more than maybe like 50 bucks all of 2025 because I'll do it for like fun little instances like the Super Bowl, maybe the NBA finals, or like I'll do it for like a major sporting event just because it's a little fun. But after that 20 bucks is gone, it's gone. I'm not putting another 20 in. So gambling is one of those things where you guys have to fight it. You have to fight it. Gambling, and I'm gonna do a whole video about gambling, but this sports gambling is crazy, and these celebrities that are advertising sports gambling, all these YouTubers that are taking money from Prize Picks and Kalshi. On Kalshi, I found out you can gamble on the weather. I mean, how far have we gone as a society where people are gambling as to whether or not it's gonna be 70 degrees outside with a slight chance of rain? Like, what is I don't get it. But yeah, gambling is one of those things where you have to get away from it because it will consume you and destroy you.
is an addiction just like any drug, just like anything else. But instead of hurting your body or your brain, it's going to kill your bank account. It is a sickness. It will get into your brain and it will destroy your financial life way faster than you realize. Like my story with gambling was when I first started gambling on sports, I went up $7,000 within the first 4 months, right? The needle was in me. Okay. I was like, oh, I could probably never work again. I could just do this full time, blah, 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 going insane. Okay. Probably within a month or two of gaining that $7,000, I had lost all of it and then also down an additional $1,000. And then ever since that point, all I did was I would win a little bit and then I would lose twice that amount until eventually I lost $12,000. So it's like alcohol. If you can maintain a very healthy, moderate relationship with it, then that's fine. But as soon as you understand that it's becoming a problem, as soon as you understand that it's becoming an addiction, you cannot do it.
$12,000 is crazy. It's $1,000 a month. Easy math, right? But let's break that down. It's $500 bi-weekly. That's $250 a week on average that he lost. I'd be sick to my stomach if I lost $250 a week in sports gambling. This is absolutely crazy. And when you win, you're on the high. You think you could do this forever. He said he thought he could pay his bills with gambling. I don't know why. That's the biggest gamble you could have made right there. Think you could pay your bills with gambling. And then he lost it all. He lost everything. He lost more the way he initially put in. I wonder, man, I wish there was a way I could gamble on people losing their money on gambling. I'd do that because that's not much of a gamble. I'd win every time because you're always going to lose. It's like gambling is no different than day trading in the stock market. If you guys think I'm joking, just look it up. Most people lose when it comes to day trading. All these day traders that try to sell your course or these Forex gurus, let me tell you something. These Forex people who used to try to teach you how to make money doing foreign exchange and all that stuff, I promise you, the money that they were making is from selling you the courses on how to make money doing day trading and foreign exchange trading. I promise you, that's the only money they ever made. Because if they were making all that money, think about it. If they're making all this money on Forex, they wouldn't have time to teach you how to trade. Day trading is no different than putting your money into Prize Picks or Kalshi or DraftKings or any of these other services.
I'm telling you right now, it's designed to infect your brain. You will not win. This business wouldn't exist if you were going to win. People don't win. The companies win. The second thing is another form of gambling, the stock market. And I'm not telling people not to invest in the stock market. You should absolutely, if you're able to, put money into the stock market. But don't.
I said it. I said it. Hey, your boy, look, I'm onto something. I'm on something. Subscribe. I'm onto something.
Fool yourself into thinking that you're going to become a day trader. That is a mistake that I made, like a lot of people in 2020. I thought, oh, I'm going to become a day trader. I know a lot about stocks. Blah, blah, blah. No, I know nothing. There are people that dedicate their entire lives to studying financials, studying stocks, that are still wrong all the time. If you're one of those people that is your job is to study financial reports and understand companies, then that is when like actual day trading makes sense. The mistake that I made is that all of my money the entire time should have been going into long-term index funds. What I did was I took a bunch of money, I put it into certain stocks. Some of them did all right. So I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And then I put a bunch of money into other stocks and a bunch of them tanked, okay? The only stocks that have performed well consistently over time are long-term index funds. So if you're just going to dump your money in and forget about it, which is what you should do unless you are trying to day trade, which again, you shouldn't, unless you're trying to make that your long-term career, which you shouldn't, okay? Dump money into ETFs, forget about it, let it rise over time. It's going to crash. It will crash. That's an inevitability. People are like doomsday every year. Oh, the stock market crash is coming. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, okay? Keep investing. Keep putting money in. Whether the stock market is high, whether the stock market is low, pick index funds, dump it in, leave it, let it grow over time. The ones I recommend are the S&P, VTI, and VOO. Those are the ones that I'm most heavily invested in. So if you're like, wherever you're at in life, if you're starting to get to the point where you have some savings, you're starting to think about investing money, don't do those things. There are two things that I screwed up that I now have the benefit of hindsight to tell you, do not do it.
I 1000% agree. 1000% agree. I said it right before he said it. I said gambling your money in the stock market is no different than gambling on sports betting apps. And he went right into it. I'm telling you guys, life could be so simple. Honestly, this right here is the issue. This is going to make you poor. Now, you can get really rich with this. But if you're on social media too much, if you're on TikTok, Instagram too much, there's no such thing as being on YouTube too much. Watch me as much as possible. But if you're on all these platforms too much, you're going to get corrupted. You're going to get influenced by people. And a lot of times the influence is really bad.
I owned this car for literally 1 day. Okay, you guys, the past 2 days of my life have been so insanely stressful. And let me tell you why. So I bought my car. Woohoo! yay. I didn't even get to really like enjoy it because the financing and like all of the contracting part, they fucked me so hard. They messed me up so hard. I didn't realize how bad the refinancing contract was. Blase, blase, blase. I didn't realize any of these things until, of course, I call my father and I tell him like I'm all excited. I'm like, oh, they did this and this, and my dad's like, what? Basically, they signed me up for gap insurance, didn't need it. Honestly, guys, I can go back and forth about how shitty the contract was, but luckily there's a 2-day canceling like contract fee. So instead of buying this car that I was so excited to do, I'm no longer buying this car and I'm here at Mercedes-Benz right now and I'm dropping it off.
So, gap insurance actually isn't all that terrible. It actually helps you with lot of different things, especially if your car decreases in value a lot. Once you bought a Mercedes Benz, so it's likely to drop in value. I don't know why she bought the Benz. Maybe she's just doing that well in life. But yeah, these car dealerships are scammers. They're nothing but big old scammers. When I found out that these car dealerships were independently owned, this was years ago. I was like, so Ford doesn't actually own the Ford dealerships. Nissan doesn't own the Nissan dealerships. Like these are all privately owned. Like if I bought one, it will be like Iman's Toyota or Jackie Robinson's Ford or Kobe Bryant's Lexus. Like all these are privately owned. So they're gonna jack up their fees. They're gonna try to do their best to try to screw you over. That way they can get the most amount of money out of you and they can turn over a profit. That's why I'm so happy that I'm hearing that a lot of these cars are rotting. Let me tell you, they're rotting in the car lots because people are not buying them. Because people are getting scammed, people are getting screwed over, and the used car market is crazy. Buying a used car is actually not that much cheaper than buying a brand new car if you're buying it from like a lot. So honestly, I would recommend to people save up your money, buy cash at like a real small local dealership. Don't tell them you're paying cash up front because they'll screw you over. Negotiate the price of the car down, not the price of the payments, because they're gonna try to get you to be like, oh, so what can you afford monthly? What are you trying to pay? No, 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 no. Get the cost of the car down first, and then we'll work on the monthly payment side later. So that's how they try to get you. And I'm not gonna say bring your fathers with you because I know some people might find that to be misogynistic, but bring somebody with you that knows how these dealerships operate. Bring somebody with you that's bought a car recently, or if you know somebody that's in the car sales industry, bring them with you. That way they know how to negotiate these prices for you. Because if you are a little unaware of how these car dealerships operate, they will screw you over. And I'm speaking firsthand because that happened to me at like 19, 20 years old. They got me and they'll get you too. So you guys have to be careful.
I owned this car for literally 1 day. I'm just gonna trade it in, forget the contract, whatever, whatever. And in a few months, I will be getting into a new car. And I say a few months because we have some life-changing things coming up that you guys don't know about yet, and you guys will know very soon. And then you will understand why it is not smart for me to get into a vehicle right now. Okay, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, long story short, I feel like I really try to do what was best financially. I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy this car. For the low, and then I'm gonna sell it and I'm gonna flip it, whatever. It was not that simple, and it was never that simple. And I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. Walking away from the situation, I can say that I learned a lot and what not to do moving forward. So I am blessed and grateful for that. But I'm really not liking.
Isn't saying that I'm just a girl thing just holding up the same patriarchy that a lot of these other women are trying to fight against? Doesn't it kind of demean the whole, strong, independent, smart, high earning women thing? Like it basically says I'm incompetent because I'm a girl. That's what it comes off as. So it's ridiculous. That's not the point of this video, but it's just I can't stand when I'm just a girl. I can't stand when I hear that.
Mercedes Benz right now, or like the people at this exact location because of how they went about things. They literally played me. Anyways, I'm here. Let's drop it off. Whatever. I brought Pumbaa. I brought him today for some emotional support. Come on, Pumbaa. Let's go. Let's go. I have officially arrived with my special guest, Pumbaa.
I am 28 years old and I am in $40,722 in debt, and I want to talk about it. And before I break down my debt, I just want to say, growing up, my family, we didn't have those money conversations. I didn't have anyone in my life that could teach me, about all these financial things that I'm starting to learn now. But like when I was young and I started getting credit cards, like I didn't know any better. I was so naive. Why did 21-year-old me feel the need to have 7 credit cards? I don't know, but it happened and now I'm here because of it.
And I will say this: a lot of you guys' parents failed you. A lot of your mentors failed you. Your teachers failed you. Um, Although it's not necessarily the school's jobs to teach financial literacy, that is the job of your parents. I do think it's come to a point where schools need to have like financial literacy classes. I think kids need to start learning about this stuff very early. I know you might say to yourself, 21 years old is not a kid. Think about yourself at 21. I know myself at 21. I was, playing college football, things of that nature. I was not the most responsible guy. If I had access to these credit cards like they do right now, then I probably would have been in even worse a financial situation than I ended up in in my early 20s. But I got out of that because I was never that deep in the hole. And when I did get that deep in the hole, I had to make some drastic decisions to get up out of it. But this is not good. I mean, she says she's about $41,000 in debt. So let's see how it breaks down. Let's see what she's doing about it.
And I just really want to talk about it. And I want to kind of help break this negative like outlook on talking about money that I've had most of my life. And I'm just tired of feeling shameful and embarrassed about my debt. And I truly believe like you take away something's power by talking about it. So I don't want my debt to have this power over me anymore. So I'm going to talk about it because it's part of life. So many people are in debt, they just don't talk about it. So I'm here to talk about it, and hopefully this can help someone that is also struggling with the same thing,
Talk.
and we can get through it together. Or I don't know, as I learn, I can share what I learn out there. But yeah, here's the breakdown of my debt. And mind you, I don't have a car, so I don't have a car loan or anything. And I don't have a mortgage or anything. So all of my debt is loans, student loans, and credit card debt.
That's rough. Because at least with the car, there's ways to get rid of that. But student loans, can't do nothing but pay those. Credit card debt, depending on how much she owes on credit cards, she can. There's ways to. I mean, I don't really recommend debt consolidation loans because those could be predatory too. Because you'll consolidate your debt, leave your credit cards open, and then just spend them again, and you just double up your debt. These people are talking too slow, so I'm gonna speed up the speed of this video. You motherfuckers. Oh, it's already at 1.25 times speed. Okay, I'll just leave it there.
To start with my loans, I have an Upstart loan, which is $11,891. And I have a SoFi loan, which is $18,630. And then I have my student loans, which is $8,370. And
That's not bad when it comes to the student loans. That's actually not that bad at all. I think that she could probably knock that down. The student loans is the smallest one there. She could probably knock that down within a year if she like really grinds at it. Like that's not terrible.
and then for my credit cards, I have a
Oh,
Best Buy credit card that has $1,685 on it, my Chase credit card, which has $145 on it, and then my Apple credit card, which I regret ever getting this card, but I have $4,205 on it. All right, so how did we get here? How did I let this happen? I honestly, starting young with all the credit cards that I had, I just fell into the, I guess, rat race. And going to stores, it was always, if I saw something I wanted, I just got it. And I was like, I'll just put it on my credit card and I'll figure it out later, or I'll pay it off, like whatever it was. And then sometimes I would pay it off. Sometimes I ended up spending too much that I couldn't pay it off. So then it would leave me with a balance. And then I would keep doing that and doing that. And then before I knew it, I had such a high balance on my credit card that on multiple credit cards that I then had to take out a loan to pay off those credit cards to consolidate that debt because it was just too overwhelming for me. And I did it all over again. For me, the little purchase.
that's just what I said. Like, boy, the boy's like a prophet around here. I'm telling y'all. I just said I predicted her future before I even saw the video. She got a debt consolidation loan. I wonder if she even told the bank that that's what she got it for. She probably didn't, because a lot of banks don't really mess with those too much because it's like you're already kind of financially irresponsible. So we're gonna give you more money so you can be even more financially irresponsible. So she consolidated her debts, which paid off those credit cards. She doesn't get rid of the credit cards, continues to use them, and is now in double trouble. Like this is, oh my goodness, you put yourself in double jeopardy. I don't know why you would do that.
Says here and there, 50 bucks here, 50 bucks there, 100 bucks there. Like it adds up. And if you're not tracking and if you're not truly understanding what's coming in and what's going out, you kind of just get lost and you don't even realize. And before you know it, you're in a situation where you don't even understand how you got there, but you know how you got there. And it's not what I just want to say. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So if this can, I don't know, get in front of the young adult crew that is starting to manage their finances on their own, or someone in the same boat as me, like you're not alone. And I want to talk about it because I want it to stop having so much power over us. And I want you to know like you can be in control. And the way to be in control is truly track your finances and budget and do what you have to do. Like for me, For me, what has been helping me so much is I use the Rocket Money app, and I love it because I plug in all my accounts in there and it is able to give me an overall view of my finances. I'm able
I've heard of Rocket Money. I think I might actually try it out for my own personal finances to see exactly where every last dime is going. However, you could just probably download your most recent bank statement and then put it into like an AI like Google, Gemini, or Chat GPT. But I think, well, I would say that that's putting too much of your business out there. But if you're using an app like Rocket Money, it has access to your accounts anyway. There's no privacy out here. That's a whole different video in and of itself. But yeah, she said the best way to have power or control is to, know where your money's going. The best way to have control is to just not engage in the system. Just don't engage. We don't have to play this game with them. We're in control. We're in power. Supply and demand. They have the supply, we control the demand. And that is way more powerful. They want to withhold. I mean, supply and demand have its own sets of checks and balances, just like the government does. They control the supply, right? So they can take supply away. They can make supply scarce. They can do this, they can do that. But what we can do is control the demand. We can take demand away. You want to make things more expensive? We're removing our demand. You're not going to get any more of our money until you bring the prices down. They don't want to bring the prices down. All right, it's capitalism. We're going to go somewhere else where someone has better prices than you. But here's what's happening in America. A lot of these people are colluding with each other. They're colluding with each other to keep prices artificially high. Like, don't you find it crazy that almost every gas station has the exact same gas prices? You'll have, at least here in SoCal, sometimes, this is no joke. You'll be at an intersection, right? And at every single corner of the intersection, there's a different gas station, and their prices are all pretty much exactly the same. And I promise you, there's no difference in fuel quality. There's no difference. Not any kind of at any commercial gas station. You're getting the same gas. A lot of these people are owned by the same companies anyway. It's just they're putting a different paint on the outside of the building and saying, "Come get our gas. Shell is better. Go to Shell and put premium if you want to get your car going really fast." No, no, no. I'll go to Arco. It's cheaper. But it's it's crazy out here. But when it comes to supply and demand, it's a system of checks and balances. We have to apply our checks so we can maintain the balance,
able to put
regain the balance.
budgets in the app. So for each category, I have a budget and it tells me when I'm reaching the maximum for that category. So I can truly keep track throughout the month what I'm spending, tracks my assets, it tracks my debt. So I'm able to see my net worth. And my net worth is negative $17,048.
Okay.
Crazy, huh? There's an internal savings account too that you can set up and put a goal for what you want. I have an emergency savings going and they take little money here and there out of your account in such small amounts that you don't even realize they're taking out. But then before you know it, you have, money in this account that it's nice. It's nice.
This is where I'm going to credit Dave Ramsey when he has his debt snowball method and baby steps. What you want to do is after you save your first $1,000 for an emergency fund, no more of your money should go towards savings. Everything should go towards paying off debt. And her debts are actually very manageable. 41,000, 2 years, she could be out of that debt in 2 years or less. 18 months, she probably could. And how his debt snowball method works, if you're watching this video, you're probably familiar with Dave Ramsey. Take the smallest debt that she has, which I think was a credit card for $100. I mean, $1,000, and you work at that. You knock that down, and then you go to the next smallest credit card debt, which I think she said was about 4,000, and then you knock that down, and then you get to the student loans, and then you get to the personal loans. You snowball it, and then once you pay off a debt, all the money that was going towards that debt is now going to go into the next debt, and you attack that one, and then your snowball of money to pay off debt gets bigger, and you're gonna pay off your debt faster that way. I know that they have the debt avalanche method, which goes based off of interest rate, but for the overwhelming majority of people, that knocking down the highest interest rate thing doesn't work. People want to see their debts start disappear one at a time. It's just better psychologically for most people.
To have. But I honestly recommend it. This is not sponsored in any way. This is just an app that I've discovered that I love and I use all the time. And it helps me truly manage my finances because I can't do the spreadsheets. I can't do the Excel sheets or whatever. Like I can't do the tracking and writing down every single transaction that I do. It's just not realistic for me. I've tried. But this Rocket Money has honestly been the best thing for me to do. So I definitely recommend it if you're in the same boat as me and you're looking for something to kind of help you manage your finances better. And I do say like you have to face your finances. So every single day I have to look at my debt in the face and be like, all right, we're taking steps towards, clearing this debt. Honestly, it's hard sometimes, but I'm truly trusting God that He is one day going to clear my debt. I know that He has things that He needs to work in me first, because if He clears my debt when I'm not ready and I go and rack up more debt, like, what was the point, you know?
Now, God ain't gonna save you. God's not gonna save you. And I say this as a person who believes in the faith. He's not gonna save you. You're gonna have to save yourself at this point. God's not just gonna come save you. That is one of the biggest myths that people of faith have. And I'm a man of faith. He's not coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. You're gonna have to save yourself. Now, with the strength of God, you can do all things. You can do all things through Christ that's possible. Or you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So it he can help you gain the strength to pay it off, but he's not going. You're gonna have to do this on your own. He didn't help you get into that debt. Satan didn't help you either. Now the evil corporations might have helped you, but he's not gonna help you get out of it. That's not how this works.
Know? So I know that His timing is perfect and everything, and that there's still things that He needs to work in me before He can do that. But I truly believe that when I am ready, He will do it. And hopefully I can be a living testimony for you guys, that you guys get to see it as it rolls out. But until then, I'm going to take action and keep like teaching myself and learning how to be financially literate. Hopefully this video helps someone out there feel less alone in this, because you're not alone. And also, we can overcome this debt together, and there's so much out there, so much information out there, and I just wanna say, like, I wanna learn, but I wanna make sure that I'm learning the correct way to do things, and for me, that is knowing the biblically way to steward my resources, my financial resources, and so that is what I'm going to be doing and learning. And if you guys want, I can share what I learn as I go, but if not, thanks for watching this video, and hopefully, I don't know, you took something from it, but
Yeah, to get to the faith a little bit, they say that the debtor is always slave to the lender. So one of the most important things you can do is get out of that debt. You are a slave to the system. They have chains around your neck. Really, they have chains around your bank account, and you got to get out of that system. But after you get out of that system, you have to stay away entirely. 1000%. You cannot allow them to convince you to keep getting to this debt. And I say, stay away from social media. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. Stop trying to keep up with the Imans. I'm not rich. I'm joking. But stop trying to keep up with these people. Stop trying to live a lifestyle that's aesthetic to other people. Live a life, freedom, fun, and adventure. I promise you won't need material things. Once you start living a life of freedom and adventure, you're going to realize material things just slow you down. The more you have, the more that is to carry around with you. And if you want to be traveling, if you want to go out, if you want to see the world like me, I am perfectly fine living in an apartment complex because I don't want to be home all the time. If you have a big house, a really nice, let's say beautiful home, the coolest thing about it is the home itself. So that means the only way to enjoy it is to be in the home, which is not something that I like to do. I like to be outside in nature. I like to be on a boat somewhere in the water. I like to be hiking in somebody's mountain. I want to be mountain biking. I want to be on a trail somewhere. I want to be somewhere out there in the world having fun. Like I want adventure. I want to learn how to fly a plane. I just want to be gone. So why would I have a giant house just to let it sit there and collect dust? The apartment complex is more than fine for me because if I'm not at work, if I'm not in the gym, the last place I want to be is at home. I want to be somewhere having fun. And if you want to live a life of freedom, fun, and adventure, first hit the subscribe button, but also just start learning to get rid of things. It's real freeing and your life will be a whole lot better. Be easy.